We started off with 3 programs back in 1978, collections of artifacts that these mothers wanted to bring into their children's classrooms, and they're all part still of our offerings for our programs, the Mirror Magic, the Inside Story, and In Days Gone By. But we've also changed over the years to bring programs that are curriculum-based that schools need. The diversity of our programs is fabulous. We have art, we have science, we have social studies, we do have some ELA.
I've been working in elementary schools, and I've seen what an incredible impact these programs and how loved they are by teachers and how excited students are. And now that I've become an elementary school principal, they're one of those things that the teachers hang on to. They don't care what the budget crunch is, give me my Scotia Glenville.
We provide a safe, easy, affordable way to enrich the lives of children in our community. The most important thing is that these children don't just have the opportunity to look at something through glass. They can actually feel it and touch it and try it on. Allowing a child to hold a tool from an Iroquois Indian that could be as old as 8,000 years old, and to know that an actual Native American used it and carved it, I think that's invaluable to be able to hold it in your hands. I can see that it sparks children's imaginations, and that's a wonderful thing.
Really not only love it, but get so much out of it. It's something that I don't have the resources to do, because you come with just suitcases and suitcases full of manipulatives that I know that I just don't have access to. And you also come with the expertise of how to use those manipulatives, and it's just, boom, you come in, you set up, and it's perfect. It just works.
You also have provided us drop-in programs, which you don't know how many people are coming, and we've never had the Glenville Museum run out of supplies. There's always been people who are kind and keep their patience all the way through whatever time slot it is, and everyone walks out smiling, and that's important too. And they engage the kids. It's not just talking at them. It's getting them to think about what they're doing and why they're doing it.
Both from my experience and from the things I learned in studying to be a teacher, the more senses that anyone uses, the longer you will remember something. And the more concrete you really know it. It is actual knowledge that you'll have for the rest of your life.
It's one thing to have a book or to have a video presentation about mammals, the coyotes, the bears, the squirrels, the chipmunks, but then it's another thing to have the skull of the animal, have the fur of the raccoon, have the bear claw. And when kids see those and they go, wow, you're connecting dots for them that they can't get with just looking at a book. But ultimately, I want these kids to be excited about learning.
There are always things that engage the learner. Even in that information giving part of the presentation, there's always someone coming up and putting the hat on that the beekeeper has and using the smoker. It really engages them, it connects them, and that's what education is all about.
Life is messy, and some of the best experiences are when you get in there and you make 40 mistakes, you get a little better each time. Sometimes you stop and you have an epiphany and you turn around and you do things completely differently. But that's what life is. That's what real problem solving is all about. It's often not a neat experience with pencil and paper. We've gotten to the point where kids are looking for the right answer, and we focused on the answer rather than the process. And the process is really important. And because as adults, that's how we learn. We get in there, we do things incorrectly, we revise, we create, and this is how really interesting things happen. I mean, that's one of the other strengths of many of the programs that Scotia Glenville Children's Museum has to offer. There's so many hands-on learning opportunities. When a child gets to touch something, to feel something, to pour something, to string something, to build something, a lot of times their visual spatial intelligences are activated a little bit differently than in even some of the fabulous whiteboard activities that we have, smartboard things going on. You know, when kids actually get to move it, change it, twist it, build it, touch it, talk about it, those experiences for a lot of our kids are amazing. Anytime you can ignite people to be curious, to believe in their ability to understand things and have a desire and find it fun and fascinating to understand things, those folks are not going to be satisfied with an education that ends grade 12. Those are the types of learning experiences that are lasting. Those are the types of learning experiences that give kids confidence as a learner. Like, oh, they're not going to tell me the answer. They're reflecting back, okay, what's the question? What do you think? Those kinds of experiences lead people to be more curious, to take more chances, to get out there, to believe in themselves as a learner. And when we can, as a Scotia Glenville Children's Museum, present those kinds of programs where kids have those opportunities, it's not only great for the kids, it's great for the teacher in the room to see that happening.
Fractions program and the measures or measurements program, and I know the fourth grade teachers like the simple machines program, is that it really does help prepare the students for the New York State tests.
We can count on hiring Scotia Glenville Children's Museum to come in and have a lot of quality experience crammed into these short periods of time, but they really are integrated into the curriculum. Typically the programs are right smack, either they open up a unit for a teacher, they really energize it midway, or it's a really great capstone experience for a unit where they get to put their hands on things, they get to learn a little bit more, they get to extend that learning. And so it's a lot of quality time with kids with authentic learning experiences, and it's good stuff. And that's why the teachers still want it, in spite of the fact that there's such a time crunch to get through Common Core. It's just quality time well spent.
I've always felt that true discipline is freedom to learn. And you have to be free of everything going around here so that you can focus. And they give the children that discipline and that freedom to learn in that experience.
Is that they reach out to teachers saying, what do you need from us? How can we support you? We know that you are facing this new curriculum. We know that it's rigorous. We know it's demanding. How can we support you? That was one of the most wonderful things that I could have heard.
You know something's going on that's good because everyone is engaged.
Museum programs are developed to be complementary to what's going on in education. And even though education is changing, we're trying to change and be current with what we're doing so that we can continue to be an impactful part of the education village that works with all of our children in the